Jr. And you better enjoy it, or else me and Diablo here, we're gonna come for you. So you better enjoy it.
Welcome to another episode of Dudes at Ringside Podcasts, and now your hosts, Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to Dudes at Ringside Podcast. I am your host, Joe Panther Jr., and now introducing to the mic my co-host for this mad, crazy trip through Broken Table Land, the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's up, Ringside crew? What's going on? How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Dudes at Ringside Podcast. Joe, you want to introduce our guest today? Because you always have the pleasure.
Sure. Well, with it being NYWC week, why not we bring back one of the guys myself and Metal Geek used to watch in the ring every Saturday night or Friday night in Deer Park. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to, what's his name?
Cade.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, dude?
Welcome to Dudes at Ringside Podcast. So, what's your friend's name there?
This is Lil Ekans, my little cystic.
Ekans. Kind of like the Pokemon, kind of.
Yeah, my stepkid kind of named her, so.
That's cool.
My little girl.
So how many snakes do you have?
Right now, I think it's 5 snakes and about 12 lizards, and then I have a tortoise and a turtle.
Oh, cool.
So I have like a little zoo going on here.
That's fun. I have 2 wiener dogs, so that's our zoo. Little wieners running around.
There you go, man. Each their own, right?
One's friendlier than the other. The long-haired one, she can hang out with anybody. The long-haired one, he's a little bully. He'd be a heel. If he was a wrestler, he'd be a heel. He hates everybody.
That's awesome.
So, do you have iguanas or?
No. I got 2 ball pythons. I got this little one and a bigger male. I have a snow corn snake, rosy boa, and then I got actually in the tank that's right behind me. That's my green tree python, and then I got a jewel lacerda, crested gecko, monitor lizard, leopard gecko, skinks. I got a little bit of everything, man.
I guess a gator is next, right?
If my old lady would let me, absolutely.
House.
So.
All right.
So what is your favorite memory for when you were in NYWC?
I mean, it's so hard to name one just because I was there for so long. But I mean, winning the title was special. With teaming with Mikey, you know, if I had to pick one, it would be winning the title, just because I started there. That's where I got my start. So that would probably be the most special moment. But it's so hard to pinpoint one, man. I've had so many good memories there.
Okay.
What you call it?
You gotta be faster on the feet, man. Call yourself a journalist.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm terrible.
The only lizard in my room is my dragon statue that I keep on my. That's my Godzilla.
Yeah, I got all above me is all my Godzilla stuff that I have.
Actually, I got something that's NYWC also. Got my Zack Ryder pop.
Oh, there you go.
And also, I have a picture with me and Zach and Kurt when I went back in the day.
Oh wow, that's super old. Jesus.
That's my memory.
I sent him some of the old posters earlier today.
Yeah,
and he's like, I was looking through my old Facebook. I'm like, wait, these posters are so mad old. I'm like, I'm like, I look at, and Plasma was on the cover, and that was before he was Trent Beretta.
Yeah, wow. Like, I don't even.
That,
Every time I see him, I don't even call him Trent. It's always Plasma. It's so weird.
And also, speaking of Mikey,
There you go. Wow, that's super old.
what's
Damn.
going on, dude? Welcome to the Ringside Crew. So
yeah, I found a few pictures. I found me and Damian Dragon, me and Foxy, me and Tara.
Wow, those are names I haven't heard in a long time. Wow.
We actually had Foxy and Damien, Foxy and Damien on separate days, but they both came on our show.
a
That's
podcast.
awesome. They're good people.
Yeah. There's a
Mhm.
guy that's in our chat right now. He's a wrestler from London, England. Riley Measures.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah. So
He watches this from London, England. He's a
That's awesome, dude. Good for you guys. That's awesome.
we're getting well known. Like we have you on today. Monday we have the former ring announcer from NYWC,
Jason.
Jason.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then to end our week, we have Dickie Rod.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah. So
We were trying to get more people, but it's like you message them on Instagram, and it's like you don't. It does not even get seen. I'm like
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I'm technology stupid. You know, if you guys didn't send me a link to this, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
yeah. But like you and the rest of your guys gave Geek and I like it made me love independent wrestling to go to your shows in Deer Park. I loved independent wrestling because Geek got me into ROH, but then I started hearing about this federation in Deer Park, and I was like, let me go. And I'm like, wow, you guys did some great matches, like the Psycho Circus. I'll never stop talking about that.
Yeah,
Like,
man, it was cool. I really appreciate that. But yeah, man, there's a lot of good talent that came through those doors of that company. There's still a lot of good talent that's there, but yeah, man, there was a golden period there between, I would say, like 2007 to like 2016. But yeah, there was a lot of good talent, a lot of good matches. You know, wish the company got a little bit more of public eyes on it. You know, but it was kind of like the best kept secret in New York.
yeah,
exactly.
sure.
Yeah. Do you have any stories from the Psycho Circus or?
Oh man, I mean, in terms of what, like during the match or leading up to it? I mean,
anything you could tell, you know.
I mean, the circus that month leading up to it, you know, it was always it was crazy because I towards the end of my time there, when I was kind of like one of the top guys and Mikey kind of bowed out, the circus kind of became my thing, kind of became like my match, and I would spend, you know, the whole month building stuff and this and that. Like, as I got more into deathmatch wrestling, I started bringing more of the elements of that. So I remember times like building stuff and guys, like other guys that were in the matches, Ghost White, freaking out. One of my favorites, I guess, favorite stories for me was me and Dreamer. I don't remember which one it was, but I know Tommy was in it, and it was like the Hounds versus Team Bull, and I grabbed something and I started hitting Dreamer with it, and he looked at me. He went, "I'm 40-something years old. Stop it," and just walked away from me. And then with Mikey, I mean, it was the best. Actually, the best was the last circus. We rigged the stage so Mikey could like come out of the stage, and someone, I guess they didn't inform the camera guys, so the guy went to walk across it and just fell straight through the trap door.
Oh, jeez.
That was comical. That kind of pissed a lot of people off in the back. But then when you watch it back, it's just like, what are you gonna do? It's wrestling.
Yeah.
It happens, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe.
Good old independent wrestling, man. You know.
Yeah. Do you have any stories from the road except for like the ones at NYWC that you could share?
I mean, I got tons of them.
You got
what do you
time.
want? Good, bad, scary? What do you want?
Whatever you could tell us. That's it.
You're allowed to.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite stories, and one of the stories that I have a few people who ask about was myself, Matt Tremont, and Jeff Cannonball and G Raver. We were all going to go to Rockstar Pro in Ohio, and myself, Matt, and Cannonball all met up, and then we were going to drive to Raver, who lives in bumfuck PA. Altoona is actually where he lives, in the middle of nowhere. And we get to Raver's house at like 4 in the morning, still dark out, and ravers are passed out on the couch. We're like legitimately trying to break into his house to wake him up, and myself and Cannibal go to the back door, and it's unlocked. And like I don't know if he lives with his parent. I don't know who he lives with. But mind, like I said, we're in the middle of PA, so there's myself, Matt Tremont, and Jeff Cannibal. You got 2 skinheads and me, looking like we're breaking into someone's house. I'm like, dude, we're gonna get fucking shot. And then we wind up going to the back door, and I go to Cannibal. I'm like, are you gonna come in with me? He goes, yeah, I'm right behind you. And I go in through the back door, not knowing, this dude lives with people, friends, whatever. Cannibal ditches me, and I wind up literally breaking into my friend's house, going in, and then finally waking up poor Raver, like shaking him to death. And he's like, oh, you guys are here? I'm like, yeah. And then I open the window, and there's Matt Tremont and Cannibal, like just waving, standing in the window. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. I mean, I have stories of seeing guys take shots out of another man's ass to see girls topless. Yeah, I mean that's a story you can ask Dickie Rods, because he actually was the one that took the shot out of a guy's ass. Yeah, man. I stories with Crusher. Dude, I can sit here. I can tell you stories all day with Mikey. It's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
He's
I watched. You guys remember Oscar?
Oscar, I think.
I think so.
It was Oscar using the Rat Pack, little short.
Yeah. That now rings a bell.
Watching Joey Mercury made him run around the Ruba Tuesdays in Deer Park, butt ass naked in the middle of winter.
Oh, jeez.
Him turn around to Mikey and Joey Mercury, or Matthews, however you know him, and I guess talking about the size of his unit, going, it's shrinkage, it's cold. Yeah,
God.
I've seen some crazy things, man. I've experienced some stuff.
Here we go. I got it. You got another one, Geek?
No, I just went, dude.
Okay, I feel like you went. I think I went. Like, what was the craziest like hardcore match you've done in any of the promotions you've been in?
That'd be probably myself. I'm trying to think. I mean, it's so hard to pinpoint. What do you mean by hardest? Like physical or just
Like craziest like match, like I guess hardcore. I'm trying to think like how I'm going to say this. Like the craziest. I know you do a lot of hardcore matches. So like, what was like the craziest,
the craziest probably would be myself and G Raver and it is they're all pretty much like on tour. Myself and Alex Clone did I think it was a 250 light tube death match in Detroit for Horror Slam. Light tubes, I guess people look at as pretty unpredictable and dangerous. Anytime I've done stuff with the cinder blocks, if I had to pinpoint one that was the craziest, fuck. There's been so many. It's so hard to pick one. I guess Tournament of Death was pretty crazy in terms of the amount of light tubes, and we used panes of glass, and I took a power bomb off the top rope through a pane of glass with cinder blocks on the table. So that was pretty crazy.
What's the craziest? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say stunt. What? You gave to somebody like this, like the stunt you gave to
someone.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, I never really sat there. I know what's the craziest I've done to me, but craziest I've done to someone. Fuck, you got me on it. You got me here. I guess the second row pile driver onto a bed of cinder blocks would be up there. Burning hammer on the cinder blocks.
Dude,
I would say the pile driver off the second rope would probably be one of the craziest things I've done.
Burning hammer just taking it on the mat is ridiculous. Can you?
Yeah, I did this guy Raven Havoc from North Carolina at H2O. One of the first not legal shows during the pandemic that we kind of did on the down low.
Mm-hmm. You're still wrestling though, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. I actually have a show. I have a show tomorrow for Excite Wrestling, and then I have a show. I have actually 2 shows for them in June, and then I have a show for them in July. They're running like every other week, so it's pretty cool. I'm keeping busy, and then Victory Pro Wrestling out of Long Island. They're coming back with their first show July 17th. So
wow,
thankfully.
That's great to hear because I'm from Long Island, but there hasn't been a show in New York since, was it March? I think it was.
Yeah, the metro area. Excite Wrestling's in Binghamton, and he was able to do like a drive-in, and he owns his own building, and that's technically a gym. So he found like loopholes and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much no one down on the island has done anything.
Nothing. So I'm kind of glad. So when's the date again?
July 17th in the St. James Sports Arena, I think it's called.
Uh-huh. No,
So
yeah.
as far as I know, they're the first company to have like an official, like a real show with fans and what have you back on Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That should be awesome, though.
Yeah, I'm hoping it should be really good, So they're hoping for a big turnout, so I'm sure they'll get it.
Yeah. Did the tickets go on sale yet, or?
You know what, man? I'm not 100%. I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure.
All right. Joe, you got anything, or?
There we go. What's your favorite food? That's me. Food.
Honestly, man, I'm simple. Like I just basic old grilled chicken. Especially now after all my weight loss and everything, it's just been very simple. I mean, I guess if I had somebody ask me my last meal, it'd probably be 2 chicken enchiladas, a thing of rice, and black beans, and that'd be about it. So
sounds good. I'd eat that. I love food. That's why I had the food questions on mine.
Yeah, no, I'm a food guy too. I'm a big cook, barbecue, do everything here.
I'm a half Puerto Rican, half Italian guy that loves his pasta, loves his rice and beans, and loves his banil.
There you go.
Big fat pork thigh, big crispy like bacon. I'm set. Then I have to run off and go for a nice walk. I live in Pennsylvania, so I have a lot of places to go for hike and walk.
Do you have any pets besides snakes and reptiles, or?
I got a cat. That's about it. And probably when that cat moves on, that'll probably be the last thing with fur in the house, unless the old lady changes her mind. I know she wants a dog, but I don't know.
But yeah, did you have any injuries any major injuries, or?
I have a torn meniscus. I had it's in your ear. It's called I don't know what the bone is called, but it's like cochlear fluid. Basically, what it is like it keeps your equilibrium. And the guy landed on my head pretty rough, and then I got hit in the head with a cinder block as well. So that kind of messed up my my equilibrium a little bit. Nothing that I had to get surgery, thank God, but I had to go on medication for a little bit for it. And my left ear, like I think I lost like 25% hearing in it. It's always like clogged. And I know anytime someone talks to me, I mean, if they on that side, I have to say what, like I literally can't hear. And I've had like, bruises and cuts. I mean, I guess the only thing I've ever had to get surgery for was I had a piece of glass stuck on my back that they had to cut out and had to drain because it caused a hematoma. But nothing, thankfully, where I had to been like out for a while from wrestling.
We have a question from the crowd.
How'd you get into wrestling?
Like probably any other guy that got into wrestling. I grew up a fan, and I was actually, I don't know if it's taboo to say, but I was watching the Chris Benoit DVD when they had it, and he said in that DVD he didn't want to be in his 40s saying "what if," and I just resonated with me. And I remember telling my mom, I'm like, I really want to be a wrestler. I want to be a wrestler. And literally the next month we were researching wrestling schools and came across NYWC. And there was actually Critical Mass, and then they were reopening as NYWC. But I grew up a fan. I mean, that's like all I wanted to do, all I watched. I loved it, and I just always wanted to do it. And I just said, screw it, man. Let's give it a chance.
Oh, I think there was another question from the crowd from Marauder. I think he had 2 of them.
Yeah. Who are your hardcore influences, and have you had any chance to work with any of them?
Mick Foley's a big one, and I have had a chance to work with Foley. We did a show very early on in my career. It was a show that he was just doing for a camp for kids with physical and mental disabilities, which was really cool to get to work with him. I got to do Holy Foley with him, which was awesome. But Foley, Terry Funk are 2 of my biggest influences. And then, a lot of these, Mikey is another big influence. Tommy Dreamer, a lot of the ECW guys. I'm not really a big follower of Japanese wrestling, like the Japanese deathmatch stuff like Onita and stuff, but I give them much respect. Kevin Sullivan is another one that was a big influence on me. And then currently, current guys would be Masada. Masada to me is like the ultimate wrestler. He's a hybrid. He's a little bit of lucha, strong style, deathmatch, hardcore. He can wrestle, in my opinion, better than anybody. He's probably one of the most underrated and most deserving of a contract out there. Is Masada.
Have you seen the exploding barbed wire match with Omega and Moxley? Or
I didn't watch it live, but I caught like clips and bits and pieces here.
I know the ending wasn't their fault, but the actual match was amazing to see.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they're two phenomenal talents. Yeah, I know. Like the poof, the little.
The poof. That's what everyone's gonna remember though. Is the little poof. They're not gonna remember that.
I mean, the idea of it was cool to bring that style of deathmatch wrestling to the mainstream. You know, on a public notice. I mean, CCW did it with Onita, but you know, they obviously didn't have the eyes on him like AEW does. But hopefully, if they do it again, they'll get to do it the right way.
Hopefully. All right. What weapon in a hardcore match do you hate taking?
Carpet strips. They're I don't know if you know exactly what those are, but they are a it's like attached. It's a little strip of wood. Hold on one second. Let me get those. It's a strip of wood with little nails in it, and it legitimately they
Oh, I know what that
used
is.
to hold like carpet. So if you ever like walked on the carpet and you step like those like a nail randomly, that's what they're used for. They used to hold like the edge of carpets, and they hurt like all hell. And the problem with them is that nobody really understands what it is. They just think it's like a piece of wood or like a stick, and then they don't realize that it's got like 7 or 8 nails sticking in it.
Oof.
Yeah, they're rough. The cinder blocks are always fun. And then gusset plates, they suck because they're used, or mending plates. They're used to like keep joists together. And if you ever look at a gusset plate, it's like almost like a little like a lightning bolt, like a little jagged thing. So they don't go in straight. And if you get them in far enough, they'll tear you up. I got on my arms, like you can't really see it on camera, but when you look at my arms close, you can see like little like rows of dots from like scarring from it.
Also, do Legos hurt also? Because a lot of the wrestlers, or is that just kayfabing?
I mean, they suck to land on, but they're not like thumbtacks where, like, I think Legos hurt more to land on initially, but then after that, like, once you put your hand on them, they don't hurt. Thumbtacks don't hurt, in my opinion, as much, but then when you roll over and you catch one in your elbow or your fingers or whatever, then it sucks. So it's, you know, different.
That's not good. Okay. So what are your? He's also a hardcore wrestler. So how about the New Jack death? So everybody I know has spoke to her so far is like stories about New Jack.
I never got to meet him like one-on-one. Besides, I mean, I've met him, but nothing like where I've worked with him. He was cool. I mean, the dude's a legend. He's infamous. I mean, he's probably one of the most legitimate wrestlers. You know, there's so many stories and, you know, about him stabbing guys and all this craziness. But, you know, it sucks for when any of the workers die. You know, you don't want to hear about anyone dying. But, you know, that happens to all of us eventually. I don't know what caused his death or if it was just, you know, years of abuse on his body and not doing the right thing. But yeah, man, it sucks. It sucks when any of us, you know, any guy dies, unfortunately, and it seems to be happening more and more often, and it really sucks.
We were doing a show with another group, and we were doing like dream matches, and one of the guys that's always in our comments, Marauder, we were doing somebody's match for somebody, and we mentioned New Jack. And Marauder puts "Rest in Peace, New Jack." And I thought maybe
it was actually Nick Gage versus New Jack, and then we're like, "Oh, okay." So it's like,
and then
we thought it was for the match.
I went on my phone and looked, and the whole Instagram feed was New Jack, and I was like, I looked up at my camera, and I was like, "Oh my god, guys, New Jack's died." And then the show just like
it just came out of the blue.
Yeah,
it literally came out of the blue.
Someone's asking if you ever worked for JCW.
The Juggalo Championship Wrestling? Is that the JCW they're asking, I'm assuming?
Because I think
If
I think
so,
there's I think
I was supposed to go 1 year, and I just wound up having not being able to go. But I have a bunch of friends that have worked for him, and if they ever want to bring me back again, bring me there, absolutely.
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
I think do I go? I guess I go, right?
You go next.
Do you have obviously do you have favorite music or you enjoy or
Yeah, I'm big into heavy metal. Metal. Black Label Society is my favorite band. Big fan of Amon Amarth, Motorhead, stuff like that.
yeah.
Here we go.
Cool.
What's your favorite movie of all time? Like, it could be horror. It
All
could be.
time? Oh shit. Honestly, it's so hard to pick a favorite. Currently, right now, one of my favorite movies I watch a lot. Like I said, I'm a big Godzilla fan, so any of the old classic Godzilla movies. I love big fan of the Marvel movies. I guess one of the movie I've been watching a lot are the 98 to 2004 Godzilla series. So like Godzilla SOS, Godzilla Godzilla, Mothra, Ghidorah, stuff like that.
You saw the new one or the one
Yeah,
that just came out?
Godzilla.
Yeah, Kong vs. Godzilla. That was awesome, by the way.
Oh yeah. I saw that. I watched it probably like 3 or 4 times, so I annoyed my girl with it.
I'm mad. Everybody that's seen it, they're all like, "Joe, see it." I'm like, "I'm gonna see it. Don't worry, see it."
Yeah, I'm sure if Godzilla was a real animal, you'd probably have him too.
You'd probably baby Godzilla.
Probably in your backyard, right?
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
It'll come in your yard.
No robbers are gonna come to your house, you know?
No.
No.
Footballs, baseballs, everything gone. All the kids, both balls are in that yard. I don't care. I'll go get it. And then the kid looks up. Godzilla is right there. Okay, you next, geek. Was it me next? You next?
Oh no. What's the who hits the hardest, by the way?
Who hits the hardest?
Who would you say who hits the hardest?
I've been hit by a lot of guys. One of the guys that hit me the hardest would definitely have to be Schlack. Because when you're in the ring with Schlack, it's legitimately a real fight. I don't know if you guys know who Schlack is at all.
Never heard of him.
But
yeah,
man,
on Facebook, his wrestling name is Schlack, SHLAK. But he's a lunatic. But he's a good friend.
Man, a match with you and Ishii would be fantastic.
What was that? I'm sorry.
A match with you and Ishii would be fantastic, dude. Like a hardcore
awesome,
match.
Yeah.
Okay, someone from our Marauder asked, "What was the worst bump you?" Well, I think I put it on the screen, Lance. I think it's.
I think he answered that already. Could have sworn that. I think he answered, right?
Because I didn't know if he answered that question. Did you answer that one already?
Yeah. What's the worst bump you ever take?
The worst bump I ever took. I took a I guess the old the Ric Flair. You know, you get thrown off the top rope onto folding chairs that were like this. So like these are the back. So like the spines of the folding chairs. I took it onto that. That kind of messed me up for a little bit. That and then the cinder block to the head. That put me out for. I wasn't out, but it definitely messed me up and definitely changed things a little bit to be a little bit smarter.
Okay.
If a kid asked you that they want to be a professional wrestler, what would you tell them?
Finish school. Definitely think about going to college and find a reputable school. You know, find someone that has either been somewhere, has done something, or has a reputation of see who he trained. Just because they were never on TV or made millions of dollars doesn't mean that they're a terrible wrestler. But at least make sure they have a track record of guys that are decently, decent and stuff. Do your research and definitely have a backup plan because, there's nothing guaranteed.
A lot of people have told us that when I ask that question, a lot of people say find another job.
Yeah, Yeah.
We would get that one a lot. So
Stevie Ray
No,
said,
gotta-
"Find a job."
We all got bills, man. The bills don't stop coming.
They don't. Yeah. Do you collect anything else but lizards?
No, I mean you can see behind me. You got the Funko Pops up on the top, and then I got my Marvel Legends. So I collect anything Godzilla, anything that I like. Like my Funko Pops, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just stuff that I like or whatever, music, movies, TV. But then I collect a lot of Viking type stuff, Thor stuff, because that's my background and heritage and stuff that I like. And then the Godzilla stuff is basically my main collection. So basically anything. If anyone has to ask me, what am I into? It's tattoos, working out, reptiles, Thor, Godzilla. That's about it. Vikings.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. What's your drink of choice?
I don't drink anymore, but when I used to drink, it was my mixed drink was Jack and Coke, and then my shot of choice was Red Stag.
What is it now though? Like I mean, like it doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be alcoholic though.
Now I literally drink. No, now it's literally Diet Iced Tea, like Diet Snap or Arizona, because I'm old and boring, and my party days are behind me. I'm trying to live.
I got a question from the crowd audience again.
Do you follow any other sports? Are you a football fan or a basketball fan?
No, because all sports are fake besides wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't follow. Like I'm not like I'll go to shows and hear people talk about like the game. I'm a Houston Astros fan because I grew up when I was a little kid. My favorite player was Jeff Bagwell, but I am not like I'll miss every game. Like if they're in the World Series or the playoffs, then I'll start paying attention. But I'm not like crazy about it like a lot of people are.
I always said the expression goes wrestling is real, people are fake. But
yeah, there you go.
That's what I always said. Have
you seen that shirt floating around Instagram that people are fake? I mean, wrestling is real, people are fake. I want that shirt so bad. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's got to have it. Somebody's got to be.
I love that. I was sharing it on the Dudes That page, and then I shared it on my page, and my dad's like, "Why do you keep sharing that?" I'm like, "It's a cool saying. It's a cool saying. It's a cool saying.
Yeah,
wrestling is
really cool."
Okay, here we go. What's that? If you had to take a trip to do like a wrestling show, what city would you say you would like to do the show and why? Like if you got picked to go to
probably anywhere.
Oh, sorry.
Somewhere I haven't been, or just somewhere in general?
Yeah, somewhere you haven't been, like you haven't done a show in what city?
Anywhere in California. That's a big goal of mine is to hit the West Coast. I have people all the time ask me when I'm going to be out there, and it's supposed to happen a few times, and then obviously the pandemic hit and kind of put everything on the back burner. So hopefully moving forward it will happen. I'll be going to Texas for the first time in November, which will be cool. But definitely anywhere in the West Coast, mainly California, just because I've never been to California, so that'd be cool. Or Vegas. Vegas would be rad.
There's a wrestler that actually came on our show in the beginning when we first started out. His name is Tamaku. If you get him, look him up on when you get off with us. Look him up. The Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku. He
okay.
He name dropped you during the show, and he's like, "Oh, I'll take him out. He's nothing." I was like,
he was name dropping everybody. Who do you want to call out?
You're meant to be on our show.
Good for him.
And he's like, so yeah. When you get off, look up Savage Juggernaut Tamaku.
I absolutely will. Where are you going?
Yeah, he's a cool dude. But we started mentioning people that are coming on our show in the next few like this month, and he's like, "Oh, Stockade, I'll beat him. I'll take him out." I'm just like, oh boy.
Sounds good, man. Well, hey, if he wants to do business, we could talk.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and then you could send us the video of your match. We'll post it on the Dudes That page when you guys finally meet in the ring. Well, we want the clip.
You got it, man.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It all started
right,
here. You next, Kiki.
Is there any country you'd like to visit, or once the pandemic's over?
Wrestling wise, definitely Japan. You know, I think that's the goal of everyone in wrestling. Personally, Australia, just because I always wanted to go there. It's like they call it the land of the reptiles, so I'd probably be like a kid in a candy store running around. But, either Australia or
There we go. What would your dream match, if you had to pick on any wrestler from the past? It doesn't just have to be in WWF. The person doesn't have to be from WCW or ECW. What wrestler would you choose to fight and why?
Jake Roberts, hands down. I get asked this a lot. It'd be Jake Roberts. He's my favorite wrestler when I was a kid. Still currently my favorite wrestler. Probably be my favorite wrestler forever. To me, he's the best wrestler to ever live. Psychology, promos, in ring. So it'd be Jake Roberts. Hands down, 10 times over.
Awesome. Jake Roberts is.
Do you get? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, keep going. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, dude.
No, I said sorry, and I was interrupting you. So keep going.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
You didn't get your sentence out.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was interrupting your sentence. Go.
All right. Do you get recognized in public or?
Occasionally.
I mean,
very rarely, but occasionally.
Do you have any crazy fan stories or?
I had a guy that had me sign. He had a Black Label tattoo, and for whatever reason, he wanted me to sign his leg, and then came and showed me he got it tattooed on him. I don't know why. I've had. Sorry, hold on. The snake society is trying to escape right now.
Oh no!
I've had fans, give me weird gifts or just I had actually had when I was doing the Order of the Black Circle gimmick, we had a fan that dressed up like us, but we also myself and this guy Damon Crowley. I don't know if you guys happen to remember him. He was around for a little bit, but we were teaming and the goth girls or whatever emo, whatever you want to call them. They gave each of us, these two girls, each gave us one. Like I got one from one girl, he got it from another girl, but it was like a little vial, and apparently I don't know if it was, but apparently it was their blood. So yeah, you're doing the whole like heavy metal, dark, evil type thing. You get weird people, but yeah, in terms of getting noticed in public, it happens infrequently, more than I ever expected it would. Honestly. Actually, it happened last weekend. I was at a wedding with my my girl, and someone came up to me and was like, "You're Stockade." I was like, "Really?" My girl's like, "Really?" At a wedding, and it wasn't a wedding. It was someone that she knew. I was just as her guest, so it does happen. It's always weird. I'm like, why are you coming to talk to me? Like I'm just like you, man. I'm nobody special.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we always hear that, like they're out somewhere and someone recognizes them and either they go crazy or it's just like, I'm like you. What do you mean? It's like that's like weird. I find it.
I had it. We went. Usually it happens like at concerts or stuff like that, but never like. Very rarely does it happen if I'm like in the supermarket or stuff like that. Sometimes like I'll notice someone staring at me and looking, and I'm like, do they know who I am, or they're just staring at me because I look like a crazy person?
So here we go. I got my next question. If like NYWC is supposed to be doing a show, an outdoor show, Geek was telling me that one time. If they called you to do like, if they got a bunch of the old NYWC people to come out for the beginning of the show, would you show up if they called you, or do you be like, I don't know?
Uh, I had a, I have nothing bad to say about NYWC. The way things ended for me there wasn't the best. Um, if the right situation and the right it's hard to say. I don't want to say no right now. I probably wouldn't for other reasons. Just a lot of nonsense went down. But I never, would never say never. They got my number. They know how to get a hold of me. It's not something that I'm actively pursuing, or I'm not gonna knock on their door. But never say never. So I don't want to say no, and I also don't want to say yes.
That's
Okay, that's a good answer.
that was a good answer. I totally
Okay.
understandable. I just wonder because if they are going to do a show, and me and Geek are trying to go, and that'd be hilarious if we met you in person to come and say, "Hey, we'll take a picture together." Dude, that ring said meets
Oh
the
yeah,
guy that keeps the show.
you know.
Yeah. Did we
But
send you a stick?
Yeah, you guys sent me one. It's on my merch box. So thank you.
Awesome.
Mhm.
I forget. Sometimes lately we haven't really sent anybody. Nobody's asked us, "Hey, can I?" We ask, "You want to get a sticker?" And then they see it and they don't respond back. And I say, we go, "Can I send you a sticker? Can I get your address?" And it gets seen, but the person doesn't drop their address. And I'm just like,
So
okay,
Hey, that lost, right?
yeah.
yeah.
And you're missing out on a cool sticker, right, bro? You got the cool sticker, so you're one of the many. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
no
Um,
problem.
this is a big question. I wanted to ask, what's with the name change? If you don't want to mind me asking.
Sure, no, absolutely. So when the stockade name was given to me by Mikey and NYWC, and I kept it for a very long time out of my loyalty and my respect for Mikey and everything. But I dropped over 100. I'm close now over 150 pounds weight. I went from 380 to 242. And to me, the name Stockade, it just doesn't fit someone that's 242 pounds. So I didn't want to go drastically and change it. So I just literally cut it in half. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to be stock because that just sounds weird. So I was like, Cade's not awful. It sounds different. It's cool. I don't know any wrestler ever named Cade. So I went with that. And as far as the whole Asgardian Godzilla or American Godzilla and Deathmatch Asgardian thing, um, I felt, and it's happened. The moniker Deathmatch kind of puts a stigma that's all I do, and it has, I think, cost me a few opportunities. Um, and then the American Godzilla, I was just like, it's just kind of, you know, I'm from America, okay, so I took the two gimmicks, the Asgardian and the Godzilla thing, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna roll with. I mean, that's why I call myself Asgardian Godzilla Cade, but the name's Cade. It's just I took my love of Thor and love of Godzilla and said I'm gonna have fun and I'm gonna enjoy, however long I have left in wrestling. But the weight loss was a big part of changing the name.
Yeah, because everybody on Facebook's like, oh, he's not stockade anymore. It's not stockade. So what happened? So I figured I'd ask.
There we go.
Yeah, no, I
That's
mean,
it.
I wish there was some more fantastic. Everyone thought there was some big deep seated meaning to it. It literally, it's just, I never liked the stockade name, to be honest. I just never liked it, and I built, I was that name for so long, and I built a reputation, and every time I wanted to change it, guys were like, well, you're known as it, you're known as it. And I was like, I'm gonna, after this pandemic and everything I went through, and changing my body, I'm like, I'm gonna take a chance on me, and I'm gonna have fun and do me, and if if I wind up failing because of it, but at least I failed doing it my way, and if I succeed, then I did it my way too. So I rather, there's a quote, I don't know where it's from, but it's I rather fail at being myself than succeed at being someone I'm not, and that's just how I look at it. So I'm just gonna do what I feel I got to do, what's best for me.
I think we have another question from the audience, Geek.
What do you think classifies you as too far in death match? Have you ever had to turn down a spot?
I've turned down many spots, and in terms of too far, There are guys that have done box cutters. There are guys that do pigeon spikes, which there are some things that there's a risk reward factor. Like people get this idea that deathmatch wrestling is garbage wrestling or it's for guys that can't wrestle, and it's not the case. Some of the most talented wrestlers are deathmatch guys, but there are guys just like there are good wrestlers, there are bad wrestlers. Well, there's good deathmatch guys and there's bad deathmatch guys, and I've turned down doing things with animals. I will not by any means. I don't care what type of animal it is. I will not do anything with an animal. I won't do anything with toothpicks because I've seen, unless it's the skewers from Masada or someone I trust, but I've seen people get really infected from the toothpicks or have them break off in their skin, and probably wouldn't be doing pigeon spikes. The pigeon spikes, I wasn't there for it, but a guy I know, a friend of mine, Marcus Crane, apparently he took them, and from what I understand, when they pulled it out, air got trapped in his body, and it caused really bad pain.
Ooh.
So, and scissors. I won't be doing anything with scissors. I've seen guys do stuff with scissors. I don't mind getting cut up and scraped up and bleeding and cuts, but I'm not about to get my skin sliced open for anybody, unless the money is ridiculous. It's just I'm not into it.
Have you ever taken any fireballs or yeah?
Yeah, I've done the cinder blocks on fire. Mikey's thrown a shit. I lost count how many times I've been missed it or had a fireball thrown at me by Mikey.
Oh, jeez. That spot must be so bad because with the mist, you get hit in the face with like powder, like liquid, but like the fireball, you have to take it a certain way. Like
It's
you can't
it burned.
And it's hot, and it's a fireball.
Well, luckily, I have long hair, so
yeah.
you put your hair in your face, and you're pretty good. The guys that don't, I have no idea.
I've seen so many times. Like, yeah, no. There we go.
Well, there was I don't know what tournament. It was a deathmatch tournament, but a guy had his crotch lit on fire, and apparently he got pretty bad. I think 2nd or 3rd degree burns.
Oh God.
So
no.
Yeah, so there you go for going a little too far.
Are you playing any?
Are
you playing any currently? Sorry.
I'm sorry, I keep breaking up. What was that?
Sorry. Are you playing any video games currently?
No, I'm not. I used to be making the video games when I was younger, but not really. I mean, I have the Avengers game and I have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but I'm not a big video game guy like I used to be. Like, I used to play like Call of Duty and Madden and all that, but with between wrestling and what I do in real life and working out, I barely got time to sleep as it is half the time.
That's the other thing with the video game. Has anybody ever made you in any of the WWE games?
Yeah. There's been a few stockades out there, which is pretty cool. My stepkid one time was playing, and I guess I don't know. I haven't played any of the wrestling games like in years, but I guess it's like a download thing. You can download like people already made you type of deal. Like they make wrestlers and they put them in some like giant download form. And apparently myself and a few other guys from H2O were on there, so that's pretty cool.
I guess I have to go in there because I haven't played 2K19 in a while. And I got to start getting all the people that have been on our show. I have to get you. There's a girl coming on Monday. She wrestles in California. She's pretty good. And I got to see if there's Dickie because I don't know how many there are on there. So it's like they may be all on there. I play 2K19, so I'm stuck playing 2019 because the 2020 was trash. The game in the year was double trash.
I heard. Like I said, I got a 10-year-old stepkid, so I know all the Fortnite and all the other stuff that they're into. So like he'll tell me what games are like good or bad. But like I said, I barely have time to play.
I get that.
You a fan of New Japan at all, or you've been following it, or?
Man, I love all that stuff, but I watch it when I can. Like I barely watch a lot of wrestling now. But yeah, no, I mean, I literally will go on, and if I see people talking about a certain match, like the Moxley Omega match I know everyone was talking about. If something interests me, or if it's a match with someone I'm a friend of, or I have a personal relationship with, or I've worked them, I'll go out of my way to watch it. But in terms of like just general wrestling, no. Like I watched, I think I want to say it was Noah that the Great Muta Keiji Muto won the belt, so I've been watching that.
Yeah.
But like I said, if anything's like, yeah, if anything pops off or anything's got a lot of buzz to it, I have watch it. But it's hard to really follow it all. There's so much out there that every time I turn around, it's like, hey, you got to see this, you got to see that, you got to watch this. Can you watch this? It's like it's crazy. There's so much wrestling.
Yeah,
It's insane. It's like every day of the week now you can watch wrestling.
Exactly. It's like it's like wrestling should just have. I know they have Peacock, they have all the channels, but wrestling should just be on one channel and it should be all day long.
Call it a wrestling channel, Lance. That's called the network. Geek, that's called the network.
One channel. That's it.
I remember when I was young. It was Mondays. That was it. It was Mondays, and then I forget what day ECW was on, but it was ECW at like midnight. But yeah, it was just Mondays. Now it's every day of the week, basically. You know, and then if you have the apps, you can watch it 24/7. It's crazy. It's awesome, but it's
you can watch. You can watch every promotion if you want to. Ring of Honor, New Japan, Impact, CZW is another one.
I don't know how anyone can follow all of it.
Yeah, I'm showing my age, but like I'm 30, 38, and I remember the only way I'd be able to watch wrestling is on the MSG network in New York when I lived in Long Island. Yeah. MSG network was the only way I'd be able to catch. Before there was Raw, before there was SmackDown, there was the MSG network, and I would be able to see when WWF either on Saturdays or when WWF was in New York. I'd be able to see when they're on the MSG network. I'd be able to see like the live show that was going on that night. Yeah, that was it. That was it.
I remember watching Raw. It was when they were out of the Hammerstein every week. You know.
Yeah. All these kids nowadays are spoiled. When the Raws and the SmackDowns and the NXTs, we didn't have that as a kid. They were crazy. They're lucky. Lucky. But we were graced by the lovely voice of Howard Finkel giving me my happy favorite announcing. And actually, today is Gorilla Monsoon's birthday. Happy birthday in heaven to Mr. Gorilla. What's that?
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Today's Gorilla Monsoon's birthday. Yep. So, what are your fondest memories of Gorilla Monsoon? Of announcing?
I mean, that would just be him as a ring announcer, and then him as the president. And I didn't get to see him wrestle. I mean, I don't think aside from the few random matches that are on YouTube, I really didn't get to witness a lot of him. But it would definitely be him commentating, especially with Bobby Heenan. I mean, probably the best duo ever in wrestling in terms of commentary.
Of course. Oh gosh, I didn't mean like wrestling wise. I meant like him commentarying with Bobby and stuff like that. Like.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, him and Heenan is absolutely. I mean, they could take. I think most people now would watch old matches just because they were commentating. It was probably far more entertaining than most of the matches they were commentating about.
So I guess you were raised in the same era of wrestling as I did. You probably saw the Raw. So, what era would you say you're raised in? I guess I'm raised in the golden era, like the 80s and the 80s and the 90s. What era were you raised in with wrestling? Like to watch it?
It would be the 90s. Yeah, the 90s. I guess the 2000s. I mean, I was born in '87, so the Attitude Era boom. I was 11, 12. 13, which I mean, you talk to anybody, they'll say the Attitude Era was the era. But yeah, I mean, I was a fan. I can't remember when I wasn't watching wrestling, to be honest. So I remember, my first WrestleMania that I vividly remember would be WrestleMania 8 when the Warrior came back.
Yeah.
But my first memory of wrestling was Jake and Savage and the whole Tuesday, Texas and
Oh, yeah,
Tuesday. That was
yeah.
one of my first recollections. And I mean, honestly, I became a Jake Roberts fan because of the snake, obviously. But then, obviously, you learn as you get older and you stay a fan how great he really was in the business. But yeah,
Mm.
I mean, I would say definitely the '90s would be, the '90s and the early 2000s would be my era.
Yeah. With me, it's 80s and 90s, and also Howard Finkel's my favorite voice. That I wish I could wake up to Howard Finkel going, "You have to wake up, Joe." Like I wish I can somehow get his voice to say, "Joe, wake up." Like yeah. So every show, I always do my Howard Finkel voice for the wrestler. So do you want me to use the name Stockade or Cade? Because I'm about to give you the Howard Finkel treatment. Which one do you want?
Whatever you want, man. Surprise me. Whatever you want.
Coming down the aisle, Stockade.
So awesome.
You're welcome. I love to give the wrestlers,
Thank you.
make them feel like they just came down the aisle in a nice event, the garden. I would say pretend like you're in the garden and Fink is giving you a welcome. Like, yeah. That's your moment of Fink.
Do you have a favorite tag
I
team?
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it right over my my right shoulder. The Road Warriors are hanging up there in the poster, so it leads you to do my all-time favorite tag team.
Oh yeah, I can see it. I can see the red. What was your favorite match they've ever done?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I mean, there were a few matches in Japan where they wrestled against Hogan. I forget who Hogan teamed with. I want to say it was. Man, I can't remember who Hogan teamed with, but it was definitely them versus Hogan. And I remember, I think it was Animal pressing Hogan, which was always impressive to me. But in terms of like that people would see them versus Arn and Tully from, I want to say it was a Starcade. I think Starcade '88 maybe is absolutely phenomenal.
I ain't got nothing right now.
I'm trying to think of anything else we could ask you. Oh God, we asked you food. We asked you. So do you have any shows you want to promote? You're going to be doing?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the big you guys are based out of Long Island. I'm assuming still.
I'm from PA, from Long Island. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the two. Like I said, well, tomorrow is Excite Wrestling in Binghamton, and then June 19th is Excite Wrestling in Binghamton. But the big one would be Victory Pro Wrestling in St. James coming back July 17th. That's the big one. It's still going to be the first official show with fans, on Long Island. So that's the big one that everyone that's a part of that company is pushing for. And that's the company that right now I'm trying to, I'm basically putting a lot of my effort into helping grow even more than what it was. And there's a good cast of guys there from a little all over, from Creative Pro, from the original Victory Pro. Some guys that used to work at NYWC are there, and a crop of new guys. So trying to do what Mikey did with NYWC and help it become a destination for everyone.
That's awesome, though, dude.
Are you currently in any rivalries? I know it hasn't been wrestling, but were you in any rivalries with anybody at the moment? Because
yeah, and in Excite, Sean Carr was a great talent.
we always like the wrestlers that come on our show. If they're in a rivalry with anybody, you can call them out right now. Go for it.
I've pulled out Sean Carr every single day of the week, and he just ignores me. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to get Sean Carr on your show, you can hit him up on Facebook. But he's probably too busy playing dolls with his little girl, or acting tough in front of his mirror. He's chemically enhanced, I think, and I think those chemicals have affected his brain. I think the gas that he's on made his head a little bit bigger, but his brain stayed the same size, so it's still the size of a walnut. But if you want to get him on, he's the top guy in the upstate area, so he's definitely someone you can. I don't know how much of a conversation we get out of him, but you may get a few words out of him.
Have you ever heard of King Anthony he's like his character's like a king, King John Anthony or whatever Anthony.
It sounds familiar.
Yes,
It sounds familiar.
I messaged him and he said he wasn't doing anything currently because he wrestles in Northeast Wrestling, and he's something. It's like I went up to where I live. My friend brought me to the show in Beacon, New York, and he was there. I think it's John Anthony or something Anthony. All I know is that I asked him on Facebook, but he told me he's messaged me. I guess it was him or the thing they have on their Instagram. Oh, I'm currently not doing wrestling, but when I get back in, I'll let you know. I'm like, okay. But yeah.
If you guys want to do predictions, we can do predictions for New Japan tomorrow.
All right, we'll do that.
Yeah, we could do that, right?
All right. No part is for sure.
You could just go along with it. You know?
You got it.
But
What'd you think about,
what's up? Go ahead, Joe.
What'd you think about SmackDown? Did you watch it? Stockade, did you watch it? Did you watch it?
No.
I watched bits and pieces. I was prepping and getting myself ready for the show. For you, I was like, this is more important to SmackDown. This is our big fun interview with the guy we used to watch in the ring. Now we're out. Now we're interviewing them. Oh wait, here we go. Mod wrote something in the chat, but I'm gonna say it. Did you ever get a chance to wrestle Amazing Red?
No, unfortunately. That's one I really wish, hopefully, I think Red's still wrestling, so hopefully it does get to happen.
He came back. He recently came back.
That's one.
So.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I don't know what's going on with guys with the pandemic. I don't know who's coming back or who's not. But if he's still around, then yeah, we definitely have to work because we're both Mikey kids, and that has to happen.
Yeah, because I remember when he was one of the ones that I met and I talked to. Me and him talked for like 10 minutes about Rey Mysterio because like Rey Mysterio was the wrestler. I'm a little guy. I'm like 5'1", and like Rey Mysterio made me feel like a giant. Like even though he was like little, like being like him, watching him win the World Heavyweight title and like jump around with Big Show and people like that. I felt like I'm not the only little guy in the world, and I'm like, wow, this makes me feel important. I'm not like this little guy. My Rey Mysterio does it all the time with big people, so I could probably jump around. Not really, but makes me feel important. Make me feel big. So yeah, me and him talk.
I mean, well, now every wrestler is pretty much 5'5" or under, so you'll be like a giant now.
Yeah. You got to see me at Key Food. There's like these people that come in smaller than me, and I'm walking by them and I do this. Wow, I feel like I walk by him, I do the shoulder look down, and I'm just like, don't do that. Makes you look like a jerk.
Joe, I think you could take on Marco Stunt easily.
There you go.
Marco Stunt, right?
So here we go.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't
know. He might out wrestle you though.
Yeah,
he might out wrestle you, but you could take him on.
This is the question that Geek didn't ask, and he always asks this question to the guest. What did your parents what did your parents think about when you went into professional wrestling?
I don't think they were surprised. And I guess it's like any parent, don't get hurt, have a backup plan. My mom and my dad both they won't watch the deathmatch stuff at all, so they don't like that. But yeah, like any parent, they supported it. And they were like, listen, if this is what you want to do it and put 100% in. So just have a backup plan, which you have to have.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Like this. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm silly me. Sorry, Geek. Keep going.
I was just gonna ask the next question, but go ahead.
No, I messed up. I kept chatting. Go.
All right. Who's your dream opponent? Like, I mean, I know you answered this, but like currently, like someone who could wrestle now.
Currently right now,
WWE or AEW.
When he goes, in WWE or AEW.
Yeah.
WWE definitely 100%. It'd be Randy Orton. I think Randy is the absolute best wrestler in wrestling today, in my opinion. And then AEW, definitely probably Moxley.
Mhm.
We crossed paths before he got signed, and it never got to happen. So, hopefully down the road it would happen. But definitely Moxley and Orton.
You and Moxley would be an amazing match, to be honest with you. And like a street fight, death
I
match,
would think
something
so.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, hopefully it happens. Sooner than later.
All right. So, if you have to go, you could. If you want to stay on longer, you can. It doesn't matter. If you want to stay on longer, you have to go.
Yeah, no, I got like another 10 minutes before.
Okay.
I got another 10
All
minutes
right.
before the door starts probably pounding my old lady for staying up loud all night. So I got like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know. We like to ask the guests that we don't want to like.
We don't like to hold people up, so
Yeah, people have lives.
No, I appreciate.
Yeah.
No, like I said, I got like 10 minutes before I got to start wrapping things up and doing what I got to do for the morning. Because like I said, I got to pack still for the next for the show tomorrow and all that. I got to make sure I have everything together.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I won't
if-
do it, and then she'll want it, and then I'll get my ass chewed out the whole drive up there.
Yeah, you don't. So like, when you do your show, is it tomorrow? You said tomorrow. It's tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yep.
Well, if you can ask your girl to record footage of your match, and you could send it to us, and we'll put it on the page.
Yeah, absolutely. She usually records the whole match, so we'll throw it on my YouTube, and then I'll send you guys the link once it's up.
Yeah, or no, it's like you can send us the clip, like a clip of the
Yeah.
match,
Like a small clip.
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
clip, and
Yeah.
we'll toss it. We have like a finishing move, you doing something with a chair, anything, something cool, because we did it for Tamako. We have his
You got it.
finishing move on our Insta, so it promotes you and promotes your moves and promotes the show, so they know what you've been doing. So since the interview, so stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I'll definitely send you guys. We'll send you guys something.
Cool. We love helping. We love helping independent wrestlers in any way we can to give their name out there and all the stuff in the world. It's hard. That's what we do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. Well, I'll definitely send you something.
Cool. Okay, geek.
Did you want to do the
Next.
predictions now? The predictions real quick. They're not that much matches anyway. So
Yeah. With the
we got-
guest here.
yeah, if you want to do it, you can do it.
All right. You can
We'll
with
do
it.
it later. We'll do it later. You have anything
wanna-
else? Or?
All right. Nothing else. I got nothing else. If we got nothing else,
Thanks a lot.
thanks a
Thanks for
lot.
coming.
No problem.
Thanks
I
for-
appreciate you guys. Yeah, I appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
We'll
Bye.
definitely have you back.
Thank you, man.
All right, bye.
Yeah, let me know.
All
I'll
right.
let you know. Definitely. See you later.
Wow, what a great guest. You know,
That was awesome.
that was great. You know,
I knew he was going to be a great guest. I just had
Uh-huh.
that weird, like, a good feeling about him. And we also knew him from NYWC, and he was cool in NYWC, even though he was a
Uh-huh.
heel. But he was still cool in NYWC.
did you want to do the predictions real quick, or?
Let's do it, then we'll shine off.
All right, you got Hiroshi Tanahashi and Chaos, which is Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, Yoshihashi, and Sho, versus Bullet Club, which is Evil, Yujiro, Chase Owens, Tajiri Ishimori, and El Phantasmo.
Oh, you know what I'm going to say on that one, right?
You're gonna say your boys in the Bullet Club.
Of course. Why would I pick against the person that I like? Geek? Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna go Bullet Club also. So, all right.
Bullet Club.
You got Lij versus Suzuki Gun, which is Taichi. No, Lij, which is Naito, Sanada, and Bushi versus Suzuki Gun, Taichi, Zack Sabre Jr., and Doki.
I guess the second one you said.
Suzuki gun.
Yeah.
And then, all right, I got Lij on this one. So, and then the championship match, the junior match, which is also the cruiserweight match, which is El Desperado versus Joe.
You said Joe, so I'm gonna pick my name. Why not pick my name?
No, yo.
Oh, they said Joe. Let's say my name. Yo, I got Yo.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go El Desperado. It's gonna retain, but and then Ibushi versus Jeff Cobb.
Ibushi.
Ibushi. I'm gonna go Ibushi also. And then the title match, the vacant title, Okada versus Shingo Takagi.
Shinjo.
Shingo?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go Okada.
Okay. Well,
All right.
we punch out. Say goodbye, geek.
All right. Thanks for everybody for joining us. Thanks Stockade for joining us. His hardcore stories were fucking amazing. Hopefully you join us again in the future. But this thing signing out, and I want to just say you don't have to. You can always donate to us at streamlabs.com/dudes@ringside, streamlabs.com/dudes@ringside, in the link below, and Joe's pointing to the link below for those I can't see. All right, and I'm going to pass it over to you, Joe.
And as I say all the time, thank you. Don't forget to support your local indie federation. Go on, what's the website, geek?
Pro Wrestling Tees.
Go on Pro Wrestling Tees or whatever website the wrestler is connected with and get a random wrestling shirt. And I would like to thank my grandfather, Jose Quinones. I would like to thank my cousin, Pete Sanchez. And I would like to thank my uncle's godfather, Frank Martinez, the Blue Demon, for lighting the way for all Latino wrestlers. Good night, everyone.